Andrei loved coming to this wild beach early in the morning when the shore was empty and the waves quietly whispered to the stones. Today the sea was especially calm. The smooth surface reflected the pinkish sky, and only occasionally a light ripple ran across the water. He was sitting on a large boulder, making sketches in his album, when he heard a splash that differed from the usual rhythm of the waves. Looking up, he froze. A few meters from the shore, on a rock protruding from the water, sat a girl. Her long, silvery hair, wet and glistening in the morning light, descended all the way to the water. Andrei blinked, trying to understand if this was a play of light, and at that moment, the girl turned around. Their eyes met. Her eyes were the color of the deep sea, between blue and green, changing like the water itself. For several seconds they looked at each other, and then the girl slid from the rock into the water. Instead of legs, Andrei caught a glimpse of a shimmering scaled tail. "Wait!" he shouted, jumping to his feet, but it was already too late. For a week, Andrei returned to this beach every morning, coming earlier and staying longer. He drew and drew, landscapes, the sea, and again tried to reproduce her face from memory. On the seventh day, when hope had almost faded, he heard a voice. "Why are you drawing me?" She was sitting on the same rock, but now closer to the shore. Her tail lazily swayed in the water, the scales shimmering from deep emerald to azure. "I couldn't forget," Andrei answered honestly. "I've never seen anyone like you." "And you shouldn't have," she replied with a slight smile. Thus began a story that Andrei could never fully tell. She didn't come every day, but often enough. Her name was Nerida, and she told him about ocean depths, sunken ships and secret currents, about the language of whales and the dances of dolphins. He told her about cities, books, music, and stars that she had only seen through the thickness of water. One day she didn't come, and the next day too. After a week, Andrei found a strange object on his rock, a small pearl of an unusual blue-green color, exactly the same as her eyes. Next to it lay a shell. When he put it to his ear, instead of the usual sound of the sea, he heard her voice. "Goodbye, artist. I had to leave. Our worlds are too different, but I don't regret our meeting." In the city, the artist Andrei Sokolov became known for his fantastic seascapes, in which critics noted an amazing depth and some elusive mystery. His most famous series of paintings was called Nerida, and central to it was a work depicting a girl on a rock with long silvery hair and eyes the color of the deep sea. Many asked who had served as the model for this painting, but the artist only smiled and replied that some encounters happen only once in a lifetime. Sometimes, on particularly quiet nights, he still came to that wild beach and looked at the sea for a long time. And although he never saw Nerida again, the ocean always whispered to him in her voice.